Good evening, this is Ken Long from Tortoise Capital with a daily debriefing on some intraday trading from the chat room on May 2nd. This is one from Duke. He's got 3M. It's been a focus stock both on swing and intraday. Stock has been weak. Market was generally up at this moment, and he's got a Z3 pinch, but he has a MACD breaking down here, and so he's playing this failure short. There's a 1, 2, 3 reversal, which he scratches, and so I love the short because if this thing collapses, we've got a nice move to the downside back to 190, and I like that it quickly corrects and scratches. I want you to notice the PSAR flip and the MACD histogram crossing the zero line here, so this is also a stop and reverse opportunity. To elaborate on that a little further, let's take a look at a markup. All right, so what I've added now are some checkpoints along the MACD histogram at different regions where the state changes. So this move downward after a gap up and then a roll over brings it all the way down to the zero line where you could start adopting a short side orientation. No real follow through. When you get the crossover outside the river, that's when you can start thinking about front running. Combine that with a PSAR flip. There's some potential here. When it crosses a zero line, I probably should put that one as a long side orientation. Again, no follow through. Short side was an opportunity. This equates to Duke's entry when we had a negative orientation because we're below the zero line, and then it fails to cross and starts to roll down, and that's why I especially like this entry, because it's right on the border of collapse. Very low risk entry. Crosses a zero line, and that's when Duke has scratched it with a fractional loss with a 1, 2, 3. Very good. And this is where that PSAR potential, as it crosses the zero line in a long side orientation, combined with the PSAR flip right here. So let's be true to this all the way through. And we got to be prepared to trade that signal all the way through the day. Can't arbitrarily say, well, because it has been sideways quiet channel here, it's going to remain that way. That actually could almost be a Z2 breakout in there. At the end of that move, when you get the crossover outside the river, this is a time, and the PSAR flip, the time to cash that. You pick up the negative orientation right here, failure to fail further, and a PSAR flip. And you get the official entry long here, but this is maybe another opportunity in here. So still, some really good work right inside here. The timing on that particular technique is excellent. And let's just remember this is one in a series of a string of signals. And while the market is open, the market doesn't get tired. Only we do when we get tired that our imagination about the future doesn't come true, and so we get tired when that shock happens. So just realize it's just signal processing and entries and exits according to rule sets, and you will adopt some of that resilient mindset required to trade all the way through these time periods. So real good work from Duke on that one, and maybe some more understanding about this MACD.